describe to her parents so she'll be here.
Where are you in school?
Me? She sits up there.
So these two seats right here are you? Yes, these are. So we will see to the. Yeah.
Good afternoon. If everyone will please take their seats, we'll begin the ceremony in 10 minutes. Please make way to your seats. The ceremony will start in 5 minutes. please take your seats? The ceremony is about to begin.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation of Westlake Academy class of 2023. We can clap. My name is Elijah Walker, and I'm honored to share some thoughts with you regarding thankfulness. Thankfulness was a difficult concept to grasp, sometimes for me, especially as an IB DP student. Within the rushed schedules, overbooked weeks, overcommitted responsibilities, gratitude seemed like the last thing on my mind. A well-known reality to all of you DP graduates. Little things every day seemed to make me less and less thankful, and overall contributed to an attitude with a lack of gratitude. One of these, for example, would be a wasp flying into my outside of Senora's room, or whenever it smelled like a possum died under Dr. Patel's room multiple times. When my car broke down in the Walmart parking lot and I had to watch a YouTube DIY to jumpstart it. When the P9 ceiling tiles began falling. When my hotspot wouldn't connect and I was stuck at a spinning wheel for 20 minutes. Never having cream cheese, so Dr. Elliott would know especially, eating my plain Costco dry bagel every day in history class. When the portable's toilet broke down for the 4th time. And lastly, the sizable pile of IAs and DP homework rapidly growing. With exams, pressures, and many late nights, thankfulness was a constant struggle to maintain with the difficulties brought by life and as a Westlake Academy student. However, with these growing stresses, I began to believe I would never be the best version of myself if I remained ungrateful, a shift I would have to make my senior year. While circumstances never changed my senior year, I chose to more intentionally appreciate the little and big things around me. Not only was this a change of heart, but I was influenced by some incredible classmates like Neil, Sajin, and Molly, who despite circumstances, still remained grateful. Just like me, they were facing the same weight and pressure, but they, just as leaders would do, chose gratefulness. So how did this constant outlook of thankfulness become beneficial to my life this past year? Well, thankfulness transformed my heart. Gratitude put a smile on my face every day, because when I took the intentional time and cherished what I had in front of me, I became more inclined to have a spirit of joy that overflowed into every aspect of my life. Gratitude never necessarily changed my situation or immediately solved a problem, but it shifted my spirit from the inside out. The way I saw relationships in my life and the things right in front of me that I was more thankful for than I realized. Within the broken toilets and dry bagels, there was a choice of gratitude that could be made, one that could define a relentless joy that would become a theme for my final months of high school. I became excessively grateful for the small things, like my daily post-school afternoon avocado toast and my monthly Spotify playlists, but also for the bigger things, like the meaningful friendships I had formed throughout the high school years at Westlake. This heart posture my senior year has pushed me to choose to be grateful for the challenges, blessings, and opportunities. But more than myself, Westlake Academy graduates, why should thankfulness be at the forefront of your minds today at graduation? Why should you choose to be grateful? Every one of you has accomplished, conquered your goals, and pushed your limits academically and within your personal life. But just as I have learned, gratitude is a choice, and choose thankfulness today. There's a reason to choose a posture of gratitude today, one that reflects on the achievements and overcome barriers that have marked these past few years. I want to take a moment of gratitude to our teachers who, through all of their diligent work, thoughtfulness, daily intentionality in the classroom, and endless dedication, have committed to the development and growth of us as young leaders, and have put up with my innumerably asked questions for 2 years. And while there were some quirks about life in the portables at Westlake, Westlake has also given us rich community and a uniquely crafted education that pushes us to think critically and form skills that we will take for the rest of our lives. And I would also like to express gratitude, especially to my parents and the parents of the room, for being the foundation in which we've been able to grow over these past 4 years, providing a source of endless support and encouragement while also enduring those long after-school car line pickups. In closing, how do we carry thankfulness with us moving forward? Make gratitude your first priority every day, choosing to cherish and value the beautiful opportunities and relationships in your life. When caught in a flurry of pressures and expectations, let us remind ourselves of all that we've been given and not fixate on what is still to come. Because while we can't control the dead possums and fallen ceiling tiles of life, we can choose to maintain a posture of gratitude within the pressures. And lastly, look for daily moments of seemingly small victories, which will make big celebrations like today even more meaningful. Congratulations to the Westlake Academy class of 2023.
Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for the Texas Pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor today to introduce and give a little bit of information about Mayor Sean Kilbride. Mayor Kilbride graduated from the United States Military Academy with a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics and Systems Engineering and later completed an MBA from the Citadel. He spent 5 years in the U.S. Army as an officer specializing in counterintelligence. He was deployed to the Republic of Korea as an all-source intelligence officer and served in Operation Enduring Freedom in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Upon completing his service, he started a consulting firm that supported governmental agencies. Mayor Kilbride is married to Dr. Daniela Wei Lee and has 2 children, Alex and Max, who are both Westlake Academy students. So without further ado, it is my honor to present Mayor Sean Kilbride.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our guests, exceptional students, and faculty at Westlake Academy. It's my honor to stand before you today and offer you my heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2023. Today, we are a step closer to you guys being off your parents' payroll. And maybe while we have rooms available this summer, we can Airbnb them out. Throughout history, blacksmiths have been seen as special and revered. Blacksmiths have prominence in almost every society's myth or folklore, such as Greece, Roman times. You name the society, it's there. In almost every major religion, blacksmiths are part of the fables. Blacksmiths are universally considered to be strong, superhuman in strength and skill. They are creators of the physical world in some countries. Some of the most iconic items in history are made by blacksmiths, such as samurai swords, Excalibur, the shield of Achilles, the helmet of Hermes. These gifts to the world last the test of time. As you graduate, we are excited to see what gifts that you will bring to the world. On behalf of the town of Westlake, the Board of Trustees, we thank you for your hard work, and we wish you a congratulations. Again, thank you very much.
It is my honor to introduce Westlake Academy's salutatorian for the class of 2023, Calissa Platt. Throughout her time at Westlake, which began in the fall of 2010, when she entered kindergarten alongside her sister, Kalena, Calissa has been an indelible part of our school's life, both inside and outside the classroom. On our campus, she enriches each class she is in. She is insightful, perceptive, and detailed. She writes with persuasion and clarity and speaks with precision and poise. Behind her quiet demeanor is a fierce drive. Her parents, John and Ronica, put it best when they say, Calissa has a unique ability to show grace, kindness with integrity, but with the willpower and determination of a bull. It is no surprise that Calissa has received a wealth of academic accolades during her time at Westlake. In her junior year, she received the prestigious Blacksmith Award, given in recognition of all-round excellence in academics and embracing the IB learner profile. Earlier this week, she won the DP Chemistry Award in recognition of her mastery of challenging concepts and scientific skills. She's also an AP Scholar with Distinction and a recipient of the President's Volunteer Service Award. What is especially impressive, though, is that all of this has been achieved with modesty and with unfailing generosity to others. This is particularly evident outside of the classroom, where Calissa has worked tirelessly for the National Charity League and supported her peers through her work for Hope Squad. Put simply, there's a sense of quiet integrity and honesty in everything Calissa does. And through her academic interests and sporting passions, she's made an enduring contribution to our school's culture, from her tenure as president of the school's biology club to competing in varsity volleyball and soccer. In the fall, Calissa will attend Vanderbilt University, majoring in biochemistry, the next step in what I'm sure will be an academic career marked by accomplishments that not only reflect her talents, but also directly help others. The impact she has already had is best captured by the words of her sister, Carlena, who says, Calissa is nothing short of amazing. She's always pushed me to do my best and has never hesitated to give me her true, honest opinion. I am proud to call her my sister and twin. So please welcome to the podium the Westlake Academy salutatorian for 2023, Calissa Platt.
Good afternoon, friends, family, teachers, and of course the class of 2023. I would like to begin by thanking those who have always supported me. Thank you to my family and friends for encouraging me and motivating me to always do my best. Thank you to the teachers who went above and beyond to help us learn, and thank you, God, for the opportunities you've given us. We are here to celebrate our hard work at Westlake Academy and finally making it through the IB program. I have known some of you since we first stepped into the doors of our kindergarten class in August of 2010, and I have loved being able to grow up with all of you. I have formed relationships here that I will hold on to for the rest of my life. After 13 years at Westlake, I have learned the value of cherishing memories, friendship, and perseverance. When beginning to write this speech, a flood of memories came to mind as I recalled the times we have shared, along with the realization that I would soon be experiencing my last day at Westlake. From the kite days in kindergarten, the time capsules we made in 3rd grade, and our daily massage lines in 6th grade, to decorating the haunted house and painting our parking lot spaces our senior year, we have created a lifetime of memories that will be retold throughout our lives. I did not fully process that this past year would be filled with our last moments we would share together. Our last football game, our last homecoming dance, our last lunch at school, our last IB exam, and our last time walking through the portables we have been in for the past 2 years. Although there are some memories I may like to forget, like the sleepless nights studying or the smell of the possum that died under the portables, I do not want to forget these last moments together as a class. There is no better illustration of our class's perseverance than during the pandemic. We started as What started as a 2-week-long spring break in 9th grade turned into a good portion of our 9th and 10th grade years in Zoom classes, which, if we're being honest, half of us slept through. Despite these unprecedented times, we all completed our personal project, extended essays, and successfully finished IB exams. We have also faced other challenges along the way, like the stress of mocks and IB exams, and Senora Morales' Spanish quiz that most of us failed last year, including me, but probably not Neil. We have all had unspoken hardships, but even with all of these challenges, we all still made it to today. Throughout high school, much of my self-identity was put into what I achieved, whether that be how high of a grade I could earn or how many activities I could become involved in. I felt this was more important than other aspects of my life. However, when I think back on the memories that I had at Westlake, I don't necessarily remember the grades I got or the different clubs or activities I was involved in, but rather the hard work I put in and the fun memories we all shared. I remember dancing at prom, talking in the parking lot, trying to get Taylor Swift tickets with my friends for hours, eating lunch together, book fairs, field trips, and someone's iPad exploding in the microwave at lunch. Most of all, I remember the connections and bonds I made with other students and teachers. So, as we celebrate our successes and enter new chapters of our lives, let's persevere through future challenges we face. But remember that who we are as people and the relationships and memories we make with others are more important and are what we will remember in the future. Our time at Westlake Seniors has come to an end, but our experience at Westlake Academy has provided us a foundation of perseverance over challenging times, and a foundation of friendship and memories. Congratulations, class of 2023. We did it.
It is my honor to introduce Westlake Academy's valedictorian for the class of 2023, Neil Rhodes. Neil joined Westlake Academy at the beginning of 6th grade. And for these past 6 years, he has calmly, earnestly, and steadfastly blazed a trail of academic success. Neil's impressive academic footprint on our campus, however, should not be measured just by the consistently top-notch grades he has achieved during high school. As I have the privilege of being Neil's history teacher, I can attest firsthand to his passion for perceptive contributions and adroit questions, all of which are delivered following a decidedly pregnant pause as he prepares a crisp, cogent comment. When I first started teaching Neil, I used to worry that his marked silences before speaking reflected his quiet exasperation at the sheer banality of many of the things I undoubtedly talk about in class. Yet over time, I recognized this as a trait of a profoundly thoughtful young man who calmly and carefully thinks before he speaks. This trait has been equally evident in his family home, where his parents, Dornette and Corey, who believe that Neil has probably taught them more than they have taught him, view him as the peacemaker. Neil is the fourth of 6 children, with a 4-year gap on both sides of him. Again, it is no surprise that Neil has received a wealth of academic accolades during his time at Westlake Academy, including this year's prestigious Blacksmith Award and being recognized as a National Merit Commended Scholar. If his academic strengths across the arts and sciences mark him out as an undoubted polymath, his athletic and creative achievements reveal him to be a true Renaissance man. While his long-distance running suggests determination and tenacity, his talent as a budding thespian, fully on display in his recent performances in school productions of Beauty and the Beast and Alibis, reveal a young man who is as confident treading the boards as running the track. Yet away from the limelight, Neil is never happier than when spending time with his family, playing strategy games, being outdoors, hiking, and camping. Most of all, Neil loves being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. He strives to better learn and live by his religion, and I know he is very much looking forward to spending the next 2 years serving and teaching in Central Washington, where, just as he has done at Westlake Academy, he will apply his many talents to positively impacting the lives of many people. After his mission, Neil has been accepted into Brigham Young University, where I'm sure his unique blend of compassion, modesty, and a razor-sharp mind will see him and all those around him flourish and reach even greater heights. Please welcome to the podium the 2023 Westlake Academy valedictorian, Neil Rhodes.
Well, I suppose I should start by thanking you all for being here, and more specifically for sitting down so that I can finally be taller than everyone else in the room. It is quite the privilege. I stand before you today to actually confirm some suspicions among my peers. I am indeed an android. I am a robotic CIA operative that the US government has been developing for almost 2 decades. In fact, I have here some of the code my CPU retrieved to write this very speech. As for why the CIA is having me tell you this, I haven't a clue, so tread very carefully these next couple minutes. No. Fortunately for you all, I am 100% human, and this code is actually from my internal assessment for computer science. So glad we're done with those. I believe some congratulations are in order for all those in a cap and gown. We did it! We survived the craziness and stress that is the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. As other seniors started relaxing, we doubled down, even if we didn't want to. But our success is not my focus today. My commentary today is mostly to advise both graduates and families alike. But my message is only for those who are willing to listen, those who seek peace in their lives, those who care. It is my hope that this describes most of the people in this room. Today, I'd like to share my take on the importance of spending time with others. Now, obviously, we are in the presence of other human beings quite often, however introverted each of us may or may not be. But existing in the same aisle at Walmart with someone is not the same as interacting with them, much less intentionally trying to have a positive experience with them. And it's not terribly difficult to recognize that one of the best feelings in the world is a sense of belonging, our connections with other people, whether that be within families or friend groups or coworkers or the local community in general. But why? What does it matter? That was the question I asked myself earlier this school year, specifically on a weekend in early November. Just a week earlier, I had started losing sight in my left eye, a spontaneous retinal detachment. I had had surgery that Tuesday and had yet to return to school. I knew that when I did, the transition needed to be slow. I had missed lectures, exams, time to work on IAs, dress rehearsals for the musical I was in, and many more things. This was not the time to be sitting idly at home to rest my eyes. And with my suddenly very open schedule, I had lots of time to think. One evening, while getting ready for bed, I felt especially lacking in motivation to do anything in particular. Fortunately, I'd seen a lot of love from people in my family and from church that week as well, and I would see more the next week from teachers and peers as well. I realized that no matter how tired or bored or moody I had felt on my own, when someone was with me, I naturally always found enough energy. Doing something, anything at all, seemed to take less effort. I almost assumed that maybe being around someone just gave me a fake it till you make it mentality. But as I kept asking myself why, I remembered something I had heard once. The idea that if all energy were dispersed evenly throughout the entire universe, everywhere would be a very cold and dark place because the stars themselves would be dead. However, there is this thing called gravity, a force that causes every particle with mass to be attracted to every other particle with mass. Thus, we end up with solar system and galaxies, and even galaxy clusters, objects gathering together in relatively close proximity. Better yet, gravity brings atoms together to form the objects in the first place. We get bodies and a planet, and we get the sun to produce light and warmth that we so desperately need. In the vastness of the universe, matter is at its best, close together, giving off energy as particles and atoms and molecules bond together. It turns out that humans are not so different. Historically, economies tend to do better when they include strong trade connections. Businesses tend to thrive when there are good relations between customers and producers. People tend to be happier when they share love with those around them. For whatever reason, the universe rewards togetherness. So I invite you all, no matter your age or your background, to show a little more kindness, both towards those you like and towards those you don't. By no means do you have to agree with what others think or how they live their lives, but loathing and enmity will benefit no one. To my fellow seniors especially, we're about to have all sorts of new opportunities to build relationships. Seize them by remembering that the best way to find joy is to help someone else find it. The best way to find peace is to make it. Of course, I've been at Westlake for a while now, and I realize that this is not exactly a new concept here. Westlake Academy is a school that hosts a very special community, and I commend teachers, students, alumni, and parents alike for their efforts put in so far to build that community. I only ask those who are staying to reflect on how they can increase those efforts, and those of us who are moving on to continue those efforts elsewhere. As for my contribution to these efforts, I extend this offer. Should you ever need to lean on someone, let me know. Call me, email me, track me down on social media when I finally get it. Reach out, and I will do my best to listen to you and support you. And perhaps remind you that there are lots of other people in and outside of this room that love you too. But of course, now is a time for celebration, for all of us graduates have accomplished. So let's celebrate. And to show our gratitude to everyone who has supported us, the Westlake Academy class of 2023. Thank you.
Outstanding. It is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker of today, Mr. John Miller. Mr. Miller, as President and Chief Executive Officer for Denny's Corporation, was responsible for leading the strategic direction of the company. Mr. Miller joined the company in February 2011 and is an accomplished restaurant industry veteran, bringing over 45 years of restaurant through a variety of experiences. He asked me to cut this down, actually, because it goes a couple of pages. He has a long history in restaurants, and he spends a lot of time chasing his grandkids around. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Miller.
Thank you. The journey begins. And so first and foremost, allow me to add my congratulations to the esteemed class of 2023. Well done. So my assignment today is to challenge you, encourage you, and to give you hope and optimism for your journey ahead. And even though I am not a public speaker, which you'll know in a minute, this is really good. So pay attention. I only get to do it once. Some of you are cocksure, some are anxious, and some are without a clue as to what to do next. And though each of you may have many options, nothing adds to clarity like a lack of options. So in another way, my job today is to narrow your options to a tight set of guideposts set by the learning of universal principles that each of us older in this room wish that someone would have told us when we were at our graduation commencement. So yes, leadership we all know is about love. It's about the obvious decisions, hard to make, the easy path, hard to avoid, and discipline and conviction and sacrifice to break through. And life, my friends, will keep teaching you the same lesson over and over until you graduate and move on to the next lesson. It's about passing the daily mirror check and setting a living example. It's about sticking to the plan when you shouldn't leave it and leaving the plan when it's simply not working. Leadership is about solving problems, which requires getting to the root of the problems, which requires remaining in school as a student of human behavior, which is the source of all problems. So think about it for just a second. What you think or your beliefs gives permission for what you do, your behavior, which reflects how you feel, your emotions. I study freeways. One of my favorite stories here, self-revealing, which when observing human behavior, you might see me speeding. And what does that say about what I believe? It says that the laws are for less adequate vehicles than mine and for people with less reactive skills than mine, but not for me. It says that I think I'm above the law. And because I feel no shame in my behavior, which are my emotions, I'm not sorry for speeding, I'm just sorry when I get caught. It's sometimes hard to be this honest, but I want you to park that for just a second. And imagine with me this continuum of the rights conscious on the left and the responsibility conscious on the right, and think about the very different responses of people in this example. A blue pickup is hanging back in the middle of 3 full lanes at the drive-through bank. He's uncommitted to a particular lane, and he's waiting to see which lane opens first. Then just as a car pulls out, this red car comes from behind him and pulls into the open lane in front of him. The red car unwittingly passes him, and blue truck guy is furious about it. He jumps out of his car, he's got veins popping out of his neck, he's red in the face, and he's screaming profanities for over 2 minutes. I'm observing this, and lo and behold, 2 other vehicles pull in as a car exits to the right lane, but this time they go out of their way to go, no, you first, you, please, I insist. What then, where do these different behaviors come from on this continuum of rights and responsibilities? But from what's in our heads, our beliefs about our rights and the tension between them and our responsibilities to be good citizens. That daily mirror check is everything. My kids were asked to do theirs every day. Did you live up to your values today? If you did, great, but if you didn't, did you do everything in your power to reconcile? Did you do your best according to your abilities? So here's a couple bonus lessons I threw in at the last minute. Those are that the more responsibility conscious, did I do my part to unite people, to seek peace, to be gracious, to turn the other cheek, to walk the extra mile? They live happier, are generally more successful, and make the world much better. Those rights conscious are generally less gracious and less happy. Now, I'm not saying you don't have rights worth defending, and I'm not saying be a doormat, but here's what I am saying. Congratulations, and welcome to the tall grass. The world, and whether it gets better or worse, this next generation is now on you. You now have the responsibility, and it starts with your own mirror. And the second bonus is that anytime you feel a little guilt or shame from something you've done, probably not driving too fast, you're being tested. You either have to compromise your beliefs to make your behavior okay, or you have to turn and make it right. It's your job now in your generation to compromise less and do the right thing more. And blaming it on prior generations is not going to change this reality. It's now on you. So test yourself. If your tone of voice, your facial expressions, your body language, your motives or your intentions, your social post, if they divide rather than unite, then hold yourself accountable to change. It all starts with me in the mirror and you in the mirror. After all, a house divided can't stand. Well, I got the heavy stuff out of the way right up front. Now something much lighter. So I want to share with you 5 principles that I think set some really nice guideposts for you in your journey ahead. Here are those 5 principles. The first one is believe, then become, belong, break through, and build. Believe in a purpose. It is so important that each of us discover our purpose, and I've discovered mine, and I already know each of yours. Will Rogers said that there are 2 great days in a person's life, the day you're born and the day you discover why. So let me frame it this way. If you want to get, you've got to give. If you want to have peace, gratitude, fulfillment, happiness, you've got to give it to others. Give what you ask. Your purpose is to take your God-given talent, what you already have, what was knit together in your mother's womb, what was passed down to you from generations of old souls, certain unique capabilities and spirit. Refine it and give it. It is your gift to the universe. Your purpose is to give it back in the service of others. A singer must sing, an engineer must build bridges that don't fall down, and a cook a delicious meal. Believe in a purpose. Got it? And just as strongly that to get you must give, you can't give what you did not get. You should be proud of your gifts and use them or lose them. You should never be ashamed of them, for they are more than adequate to serve and to make a difference to others and to matter in this world. You should never be jealous of others' gifts, for each of us are uniquely different, and I've come to accept that I have a lot fewer gifts than most. I can't sing or carry a tune, and Lord knows I've tried, and dancing is at a material deficit to those that are gifted. But I'm not ashamed. I do it anyway. I have one gift, and that's to lead by bringing out the best in others and putting everyone in a role where they can win. I don't waste a lot of time on evaluating what I suck at. I focus on what I can do and therefore must do. I can still hear my mother now. It was like yesterday. I was a junior high kid and pretty good football player, well, at least for a crummy team. I started both ways. I played quarterback and linebacker, not big, but very determined. So I decided to go out for basketball. I wasn't sure that I could make a team. I was a little short, and I didn't grow up playing hoops like my friends. Even so, I did expect to at least make the first cut. Well, I was sent packing by the coach when all the other can't even walk or dribble kids, and I had a breakdown. It started to rain on the way home, so I crawled into the Goodwill collection box, and I cried myself to sleep. When I got home, I expected Mom to be worried and to console me for getting cut. Mom went into her teachable moment mode, full on, and I will never forget it. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not covet. No son of mine is going to come in here crying. Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself with all the gifts you have, sobbing like that. You were born to help others bring out their best. You are not a basketball player. What makes you think those stubby little white legs of yours could ever slam dunk a basketball? That coach did you a favor. The very thought of you wasting another minute of your life, and it goes on and on. I wanted to go back to the collection box. So my mom was an amazing psychologist. This has equipped me well in life. My dad went on to teach that you can do anything in life you want, you just can't do everything. Some things like basketball, I can play and enjoy, skydive, sing, whatever, to experience it, you get the idea there. But it's not the same as purpose. So be thankful for what you have, use it or lose it, and you can't give what you did not get. The second principle is to become a follower. You cannot lead your family, a business, a little league team without being a good follower. And indeed, a follower of great principles is respected and trusted with the assignments to lead more and more. Go to the Library of Congress and you're going to find 173 million articles of law. Yet in 3 to 5 principles, you can cover all the values you need to guide your life. So I encourage each of you to write down 5 to 7 principles that you can commit to, like the golden rule, putting others first, not resting on your laurels, bringing your best, and the like. Principles to which you're proud to share and to live by. And the next B is to belong to a family. We could spend hours talking about the importance of belonging. We get care, give care, and we get support in family. But there's more to this. When you're in a family, you belong. I belong to my mom and dad, and nothing I could ever do would change that status. It was not based on merit. It was based on the duty to each other to just belong. I could not be fired or kicked out or unbelong. I was a Miller. Focus on this a little more. Who do you belong to? Who belongs to you? Who are you beholden to in a sacred bond? Who or what values do you serve? Those with no bonds sacred enough for sacrifice ultimately have less meaning and less peace in life, and that's a promise. Those with deep bonds, so deep you would sacrifice anything for, even your life, like your family or your country, have a richer, deeper, and more satisfying life. I'm hopeful you catch the meaning of belonging that I'm imagining for each of you today. If we would all die for each other, then wouldn't we live for each other? This is deeper than a club or a gang, deeper than a code of a fraternity or sorority. A family committed to serve each other have each other's back, make room and allowances for differences without judgment, and leave no one behind. If I depend on my family, then my family must be able to depend on me, committed, strong, and wise. And the next B is to break through to lead. There is something magical that happens at the right motivation and conviction. Nothing grabs us more than hero stories when beliefs and actions align. That moment of truth that we will all surely face in life, either in a grand and public moment or secret and behind the scenes. Here's one of my breakthrough moments. Having just moved to Tulsa from Chillicothe, Ohio, I had a severe case of inferiority complex due to the fact that I did not understand boots and hats and Wranglers and dipping snuff in Oklahoma, coming from my Elton John shoes, hip huggers, and paisley shirts from Ohio. I had some work to do to fit in. But just when I thought I had it bad, I met Wally. He had dark teeth from bad water and poor care, a severe case of acne that oozed and would cause you to lose your appetite. He was 75 pounds overweight and, frankly, ugly. But nevertheless, he served our 5A football team as the trainer just to be one of the guys and to have a place to belong. Daily, he put up with abuse, name-calling, jock-it spray on his privates, and being regularly chased and popped with towels until he had red marks all over him. One day, my raising kicked in. Something in my spirit said, damn the consequences. I can no longer be silent. I was not a great player. I was not popular. I was not known. And I had nothing to gain and everything to lose, except my dignity. I jumped on a bench and started screaming at everyone to stop. And that, for me, how greatly I appreciated Wally for his loyalty and service to the team, and that I couldn't take it anymore, watching in silence. And then I just ran out of words and stood there. And then after a small silence, and I really honestly thought that was going to be the end of me in that school. Then Jimbo Elrod jumped up on the bench with me. He went on to play in the NFL. And he said, John's right. We should all be ashamed. We are better than this. From now on, if anything happens to Wally, you have to answer to me. And he went on to become our celebrated trainer from that day forward. So if your head says something's wrong and you say nothing, you're going to have some shame. You have to either change your belief to accept it or as okay, or you have to behave according to your beliefs. I was afraid, and then belief took over, and I became a follower of good principles. And Wally belonged to my team family, and I had a breakthrough moment. And I learned then in that moment that you have to put your whole heart into anything you're doing if you want it to matter to you. Your marriage, your school, participation on the team, for anything, for that matter, to matter. And it's for that reason that I really love this excerpt from Wild at Heart by John Eldredge. Here goes. We have many expressions to help us express things that matter to us. They are matters of the heart. We describe a person without compassion as heartless. We urge him or her to have a heart, and our deepest hurts we call heartaches. Jilted lovers are called the brokenhearted. Courageous soldiers are called brave-hearted. The truly evil are dark-hearted, and the truly good have hearts of gold. If we need to speak at the most intimate level, we have a heart-to-heart talk. And lighthearted is how we feel on vacation, or if you were feeling completely carefree. When we lose passion for something, deadness sets in, and we confess, my heart's not in it. Yet, when we love someone as truly as we might, we say we love him or her with all of our heart. Folks, we do not want deadness to set in. We want life. Whatever you're doing, put your whole heart into it. And finally, the last B of the principles is to build a legacy. Your legacy comes from repeated breakthrough moments. It builds and becomes stronger and stronger with time. And therefore, culturally, in your family of legacies, it's harder to ever kill. And unfortunately, equally as true for repeated bust moments for a bad legacy. But take heart, all 5 principles work together to build and not tear down, and it's never too late. While the body ages and dies, breakthrough moments live on for generations. And I will never forget my youth as a leader with the founder of Taco Bueno, Bill Wall. I helped build that brand from 5 to 200 stores before leaving for Chili's in 1987. We were touring a store, and he said, do you see Darren over there? I took a look and said, yes, sir. Sorry, sir, I see that his shoes are pretty dirty. Bill said, no, do you see him? And I said, yes, it looks like he forgot his apron. He's got guacamole all over his shirt. And Bill said, no, man, you see his mouth. It's all swollen. He's hurting. He needs a dentist. He said, come on, son. Your employees are not equipment. They're people, and you have to see them. He built a legacy of service and a culture of care. And working there in that family, we felt like we could walk through walls. That's what I want for you today. That's what I want for you. Your purpose, whether in finance, the arts, athletics, making millions, or teaching first grade, you got to see the people your purpose serves. You cannot do this by force of will. The heart and the head has to align. When we genuinely care and care a little more and love a little more, our nation and all people will rise. I'm hopeful today because of each of you, a nation of fewer rights conscious and more incorruptible and responsibility conscious souls, and disciples of the bees that believe and become and belong and break through and build. Thank you.
Will the first row please rise? Preston Allen. Assad Alaboy. Nathan Allison. Reagan Alsup. Aaron Amos. Sophia Arceo. Hensley Barton. Dean Beeman. Ella Beeman. Natasha Burke. Brett Books. Molly Ruth Cothra. Thomas Connolly. Addison Dillerman. Kendall Flythe. Josephine Foley. Brooke Forbes. Parker Glenn. Peter Gugov. Maya Gori. Emily Graves. First row, you may be seated. Will the second row please rise? Taylor Gret. Ethan Harvey. Andy Huang. Sophia Ismaili. Marilyn Jacobs. Austin Kim. Catherine Koshin. Amy Lindberg. Mallory Laurent. Peyton Matthews. Andrew Mayhew. Kushi Melkote. Vinay Menon. Maria del Pilar Mohan. Sophia Monroy Garcia. Jack Moreland. Luke Morrison. Erica Moyo. Sheridan Munoz. Joseph Muzingu. Tyler Now. Dylan Wynn. Second row, you may be seated. Third row, please stand. Jacob Wynn. Jessica Olson. Michael Osapenko. Lauren Palfrey. Aisha Patel. Sajin Patel. Nathan Peters. Calissa Platt. Carlena Platt. Neil Rhodes. Victor Sansone. Jaden Saucedo. Isaac Selvarathanam. Ananya Sharma. Ella Sheridan. Albert Jesse Sunday. Elizabeth Thompson. Chitambara Upadwe. Elijah Walker. Benjamin Ward. Sean Watson. Joshua White. Third row, you may be seated.
Mayor Kilbride, members of the Board of Trustees, I submit these Westlake Academy candidates for graduation and certify that these students have fully satisfied the requirements prescribed by the Texas Education Agency and have fulfilled the additional graduation requirements stipulated by Westlake Academy Board policy. Students, you may now move your tassels from the right to the left. And congratulations, class of 2023, you are now officially graduates of Westlake Academy. Westlake Academy faculty, I now invite you to come down and then form a guard of honor down the middle aisle. And now, graduates, please enjoy the Guard of Honor. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, buddy. Another one in the butter.
Yes, sir. Congratulations. A good esteemed group of kids. Appreciate you serving our town, brother. Yes, sir.